hopefully you've already seen that first video talking about the background of this DIY shallow water anchor, all the parts and pieces, and just kind of the history behind it. And I'm going to talk to you now and let you know a little bit more about what you need to do to get started with the DIY shallow water anchor. So first step is determine which size of these poles that you need. Now they come in several different sizes, and I believe 1 inch, I'm going to have to go back and verify this. I should have done this before I started filming. 1 inch, the largest size. This is a big, heavy pole. It's significantly heavier than the ones that I use on a day-to-day basis. Unless you have a really big, heavy boat that weighs a whole lot, you're probably not going to need those larger sizes. So go with that middle size. I think it's 5/8, and that's going to be more than enough for anything that you're going to need in virtually any situation. I've got a 22-foot center console express bay boat. It's aluminum, but I fish at some really high winds and put these things under some pretty heavy pressure, and I've never had an issue with them giving way on me. Usually, the few instances I've had where they would not hold my boat, quite honestly, I didn't have any business being out on the water. So determine which size pole you're going to go with, and then step 2 is going to be to decide how long you want these anchor poles to be. So 8 foot is the standard length rod. They also sell them in shorter pieces, or you can order an additional 8-foot rod and you can cut it down into the lengths that you need. If 8 foot's going to work for you, the process is really easy, and this is relatively inexpensive. If you're going to need a longer anchor pole than 8 foot, then you need to order additional extension beyond that 8 foot. So if you want a 12-foot anchor pole, you're going to need 2 8-foot sections. You're going to need 2 4-foot sections. So figure out what length of the material that you need, and then you can go ahead and get started ordering the material with that. Color, obviously, you're going to have to pick between black, white, and camo. It's just cosmetic. Black or white's going to work fine. If you're a duck hunter, maybe you want to get camo. Just figure it out, move on, not a big deal. So if you want these anchor poles to be longer than 8 foot, step 4 is going to be to determine whether or not you want them to be modular, so you can change the length of the anchor poles and adjust from a 12-foot or a 16-foot to a 10-foot, whatever the case may be. The options are pretty limitless. Or if you want them to be a fixed length. Now, if you want them to be a fixed length, there's a hollow core rod that you're going to use to join the two pieces together. So if you want a 12-foot anchor pole fixed length, you'll take the 8-foot piece, the 4-foot piece, then you'll take that hollow core rod and you'll put the 2 anchor pieces inside of that hollow core, and it's going to sleeve those 2 pieces together. It's the same function as using that threaded stainless steel sleeve. It's just not modular. You're stuck with a fixed length. If it doesn't matter to you and you need longer than 8 foot, then go with that piece and you can just sleeve them together. If you need them to be modular and you want them to adjust, then you're going to need to order the stainless steel threaded pieces to be able to adjust those modular lengths and screw those rods off and on each other and adjust the length to whatever length you want. Now, obviously, if you want multiple lengths, then you're going to need to go in and look and determine how many extra pieces beyond that 8 foot you need in different sizes, and then what kind of handles you need and all those different things. I think you can probably figure it all out. So, step 5, man, I lost count. I am not on my game. I've got a really bad cold. Decide whether or not you want handles or not. If you want the handles, you're going to need 1 handle for each anchor pole. And then if you're going to go with the modular extensions that you can change out, then you'll need an additional handle for each modular extension. And then last but not least is to decide whether or not you want the stainless steel tips. If you want stainless steel tips on each one, then you're going to need 2 stainless steel tips for 1 set of the DIY shallow water anchor. That's all there is to it. Now, to get more details, all the information that you need on where to find these products, what to order, more instructions, all the other videos, and everything else you need to go to catfishedge.com/shallow water anchor. You'll find all the information that you need to get started with your own DIY shallow water anchors. And I'm going to come back with one more video, at least for now, talk about just how to put these together really quickly, and then we're going to wrap things up. Till next time, this is Chad Ferguson, catfishedge.com.